This is like a get ready with me for school because my Nana came in town, but there's cone ice today, and cone ice comes at 1. So I just stayed at home. I'm gonna stay at home until 12:30, and then we're gonna leave, get food, and then go to my school. So yeah, we're gonna get dressed. I'm probably just gonna wear these pants low-key because I don't know what the weather is. Hold on. Okay, let's change. I didn't find anything, so we're gonna go to the laundry room really quick. I'm gonna put on this romper. We're gonna see it is in the laundry room because I put it in the laundry. Let me see if it has any stains. Because okay. We're all good. Okay. No, we're not. No, there's one mark. I don't know what that is, but it's not coming off, so we're gonna have to find something else. Honestly, this is like probably my top item option, unless I can find a dress or something. See, I do not want to wear a dress today. That's the thing. I'm not in the mood for a dress. Yeah, I don't even know why I decided to come look at dresses because I already know that I'm not gonna want to wear a dress. So I'm gonna go to the bottom of my closet and see if there's any shorts in the bottoms bin. Okay, so I have a tie-dye skirt and then a gray shirt. So yeah, and my birthday party is tomorrow, and it's actually so soon. So I'm gonna give y'all a little outfit to wear and like that. And I'm probably gonna go to Walmart and grab a neon outfit because I don't have a neon outfit. I'm probably gonna do that today. But anyway, okay, so I got this tie-dye skirt, and then for my shirt, this gray shirt. So I'm gonna put this on and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna put this on, but I'm gonna do like the explaining how I had to get stitches when I'm like getting like makeup and skincare done. And I feel like a question a lot of y'all are asking is it hard to put on an outfit? One, this is on inside out, but yes, it hurts to put on outfits and stuff, and it still hurts. And I forgot to put, this is inside out or backwards, and then I have to put something else on really quick. This goes for girls only. If you know what I just put on. Now let's put on the shorts. See, I would crimp my hair, but I don't think I have enough time, so I'm gonna put in a claw clip. I'm just gonna throw that in my get ready with me area, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of my gloss on. Mine's leaking like crazy because I think I added a little too much product, but the process when you only have one squeeze tube for this is crazy because squeeze tubes are much easier. But anyway, let's get in our get ready with me area. Okay, first things first. We have our skincare. So let me go grab my moisturizer out of my bathroom. Just got the moisturizer, so yeah, let's just go. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna be using the Junk Elephant moisturizer. I'm gonna refill it. I'm gonna go refill this really quick. Okay. Ooh, that hurt. Okay. I don't have my CeraVe moisturizer with me, so I'm just gonna use this Lubriadum or whatever it's called. I'm just gonna take this part off. Okay. I think that this is good. That on the towel / on the ground. Let's try this again. Okay, now we're gonna be starting the get ready with me. Okay, so first things first. How did I like get injured? Okay, so basically yesterday was the last day of summer school, and all we were doing was watching a movie and doing recess. So, and we didn't have Spanish, so we didn't have to do Spanish. But so I was making a snackle box because might as well for like a snack and like a little bit of my lunch. And so I was like, okay, let's just make it. And then I got fruit strips, goldfish, Cheetos, and just stuff like that. And then when I got Danimal's yogurt, and then when I got to the apple part, I grabbed one of the sharp knives because I was cutting. Okay, so I was cutting my fruit strips with knives, so I don't have to eat the full strip. And we have an apple cutter that we just put on the apple. It's like a shape of an apple, and it cuts it in small slices and takes the core off and stuff. And I didn't want to look for that. So I was like, okay, and I don't want to dirty something else, so I might as well just use this knife. And then I was on the counter, and I cut it in half, and then I took half of it, and I was standing up and holding the apple, and obviously, you know, that's a big no-no. And I didn't have time to okay, so there was like half of the core was in there, so I was going really, really hard, and then randomly it just worked, and it cut through really, really hard, and yeah, and it got cut right here. But yeah, this is way too much moisturizer. But yeah, that's how I got it. And then was I freaking out? Not really until a certain point in the injury. So basically, after I did that, I crouched down like this. I was like, okay, it's just a normal cut. It's not going to be that bad because I always get little cuts all the time. And I'm like, okay, it's probably just one of those little cuts. Just be fine. I wasn't crying. And I was like, And then I saw the white part, like I saw muscles. And then I saw like strings that were cut inside of my hand. I was like, dang it. And then I started freaking out, but I was like, but I wasn't crying. I was like just really strongly breathing. And then I went to my mom's. My mom was in her office, and I was like, help me. I wasn't crying. I was just freaking out. And my mom, she said, move your hand. I went like this. I went, ow, ow, ow. I still wasn't crying. I'll tell you when I was crying. And then she said, oh, okay, put your hand back on it. Because she was like, So we went to the living room. She said, sit down. I'm going to call your dad. And then, so I sat down, and then the phone was ringing, and she went to go find some wrap for my hand, and I put the dog in her cage because I was like, my baby can't be out on her own, so I just had to put her in her cage. And then she's like, oh, sweetie, you're so sweet. You didn't have to put Eleanor in a cage. I was like, I know, but I still just wanted her to be safe. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then my dad, and I was like, no, I want to FaceTime him. And then I stayed up because I was feeling like a headache and stuff. And then my mom put her shoes on. I was like, where are we going? She said, we're going to have to go to the hospital. And that's when I started breaking down in tears. I did not want to go to the hospital at all. And I thought it was a dream. It literally felt like a dream. Like I felt like I would never ever do this in my life. And I've been rushed to the ER once, but it was like when I was like really, really young. I took my hair and wrapped it around my toe, and it was like suffocating it to the point it could fall off. But that was the first time. My sister's never been to the hospital, like not even to the hospital for any medical reasons or just stuff like that. She's just never been to the hospital except obviously when she was born. But I was like, oh, this is bad. That's when I started crying, and then I was like, okay, let me grab my phone so I have something to watch in the ER just in case. And then we went to we called my dad, and I FaceTimed him. He was freaking out, and we forgot that he was at golf. And then he was like, okay, I have 2 holes left and I'm coming. Just go to Center Point Hospital. And then we passed Children's Mercy because we forgot that Children's Mercy was like right next to where I live. Well, at my dad's house, it was like right next to where I live. And I was like, Children's Mercy, Mom, we should go to Children's Mercy. Because they purposely focus on children. So I thought that it would be better. But and then we pulled in and it said no emergency services. I was like, bro. But I always hear ambulances there all the time. She's like, well, they're probably going to Center Point if it's like, because like no one knows if it's like a medical reason. So they go to Children's Mercy for the kids, and then if it's too bad, they take them to Center Point. I was like, okay. So we went to Center Point, and then we sat in the waiting room for a couple minutes, and I was literally like really, really scared. Like I was not expecting anything like that to happen, and I didn't know what was happening, and I was freaking out, and it was just really scary and stuff. I was really scared, honestly, but like obviously I feel like everyone would be scared, but like my mom was calling me really strong because I only started crying from the fact, like, I wasn't even crying in pain. I just didn't want to go to the hospital. And she was like, I'm really surprised you weren't, I'm really proud of you for being so brave that because you didn't cry because of pain, you cried because you didn't want to go to the hospital. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And then we got into the emergency room. Well, we sat in the waiting room. And then after a while, we saw my dad pulling in, and then he got in his parking spot, and then he was like speed walking, and then when he got really close to the door, he started rushing, so I standed up and waited at the door for him, and then he was like, baby, and then we sat down, and then he was just comforting me, and then when we got in the room, they checked my heartbeat, and then they put the thing around my arm to like see just whatever that does. I don't even know. But and then after that, we got teleported to a new room, and then they decided that I needed stitches. And then when they said that, I started freaking out. I was like, no, and I started crying. And then when they came and put the numbing cream on my hand, it stung the first part and I started freaking out. And I like moved my hand. I said, no, give me a break, because it hurt really bad. And then they were like, no, we need to put this on you so we can get the stitches done faster. And obviously, like if you say no to that, then they'll have to like your parents will have to hold you down to see. And I'm not doing that, and I'm not going to sleep. Like I'm just not going to sleep. Like, I don't care. You're not gonna put me to sleep. So I just did it, and then they said, I'll give you 20 minutes, and then for the numbing pain stuff to kick in, and then I'm going to come do your stitches. And I was freaking out. And then we were talking about what we were going to do. And I said, I want Dad to sit right next to me. I want Mom to stand right here and hold my hand. And I want to watch slime videos. And you guys, I literally ordered slime from Peachy Babies. And they said they'd come 5 days ago. So, yeah, kind of mad about that, but whatever. And then, so honestly, I was just freaking out. And then when they came in for the stitches, I shed like a tear or 3. And then we got in all positions. And then they were cleaning my hand. And then the first needle poke jump scared me, but I didn't move. And then the second one felt a little bit lighter in pain. And then I was like, okay, you're done. It was not that hard. But I thought I was getting 1 at first. I didn't know. So I was like, oh, okay, it's going for a second time. I was like, okay, honestly, just get this thing over with. And it was to that point when I was like, okay, honestly, like, I don't care anymore. And then they got our, like, papers and stuff ready. And then my parents called me really brave. And then, yeah, and it's, like, my first time being, like, in a crazy situation like that. But it was honestly super duper scary for me. But honestly, now that I know for next time, just turn on your favorite videos. Like, just turn on your favorite video, hold your parents' hand, like, have your parents comfort you in any way possible, and then just watch your favorite video, play your favorite game. Obviously, you probably shouldn't play your favorite game, because sometimes people, like, crash out, and that'd be terrible, especially if a stitch is like, about to go in your hand. Just have your parents comfort you, watch your favorite video, or just stare at your parents, honestly. This is the radio. Try not. No, Bishop baby mama clipping on back out. Okay, now we're gonna pack everything. I just bought a fast car so I can run over you. Skirt, 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 skirt. Oops, and I forgot about my highlighter. I've been looking for this thing. I put the wrong cap on. How to get back at you? Boy, mad at you. How to get back at you? How to get back at you? I just bought a mansion in Malibu. Oh, you got me singing blue strips. I should probably stop singing that song. And I did it. Okay, so that's there. things in here. And I'm going to put my blanket in here, and then I'm going to put my claw clip in. I'm already be right back. That's it. Bye, besties.